She didn't even blink when she did it. The spit was warm. The paper was colder. "Accept a 90% salary reduction," she said, her voice dripping acid. "Or I'll find someone who will." Her hand lingered on the contract, a smirk curling her lips. Behind her, the 22-year-old intern she'd been sleeping with tried to hide his grin. Our staff pretended to look at their screens, but I could feel every pair of eyes. I looked at her, at him, at the room that had once been mine. "I need 20 hours," I said, calm, precise. Then I left. I met her 11 years ago when she was broke and brilliant, full of restless fire. I saw her potential. I gave her the first desk, the first client, the first deal. I gave her my name. We built the company together, brick by brick, lie by lie. At night, she'd talk about conquering the market. In the morning, she'd kiss me before the war began again in the boardroom. She was my partner in every sense of the word. Or so I thought. Late nights, she couldn't explain. Perfume that wasn't hers. A sudden appetite for power plays. Subtle at first, then cruel. I ignored it, told myself it was stress, expansion, competition. Then one evening, I saw her reflection in the boardroom glass, her hand on his arm, leaning in too close. He laughed like a boy who thought he just won a kingdom. I didn't confront her. I didn't rage. I just started watching. She moved fast, changed passwords, redirected clients. My projects disappeared from the roster. Invitations to major deals went missing. It wasn't about business anymore. She wanted me humiliated. And today, in that glass-walled office, she'd finally done it. The contract was just a blade. The public humiliation was a twist. Because revenge, real revenge, isn't about shouting or throwing things. It's about cutting out their heart while they're still smiling. At 8 p.m., I called the company's biggest competitor. I'd spent years crushing their deals. They hated me. But hate is just another form of respect. Turns out they'd been waiting for me. Waiting for an insider who knew every number, every weakness, every skeleton my wife had buried under polished press releases. We didn't talk long. They wanted intel. I wanted leverage. By 10 p.m., I had a signed preliminary agreement in my inbox. Executive role, double my salary, signing bonus wire within hours. One condition, bring the crown jewels. I already had them. While she was busy parading her new boy toy at events, I've been quietly copying every client contract, supplier dispute, pending lawsuit, and confidential audit onto an encrypted drive. Insurance, I called it. Now it was currency. At midnight, I called our largest client, the one who accounted for nearly 40% of our revenue. I didn't threaten. I didn't beg. I simply told him the truth, that the company was unstable, leadership compromised, and his account will be better served elsewhere. By morning, he was on board with the competitor. The next day, I wore my best suit, walked into that same glass-walled office where she'd spat on me. Her intern was in my chair. She was at the head of the table, looking victorious. "Have you signed the pay cut?" she asked, loud enough for the room to hear. I set my resignation letter on the table. Her smirk widened. She thought she'd won. Then I slid a second envelope across to her. This one marked confidential legal notice. She opened it. The color drained from her face. Inside, notice of client withdrawal, notification of pending lawsuit from a supplier, and a signed employment contract, mine, with her biggest rival. "You can't," she started. I cut her off. "It's done." The intern shifted uncomfortably. The staff stared. "I've already moved every account I handled, and as of this morning, your competitor owns your market share. You'll be insolvent in 90 days. I let that sink in. Then I leaned closer. "And if you try to bury me, I'll pull every skeleton out of the closet. You know how many there are." She tried to recover, to throw her usual venom, but her voice cracked. The staff was still pretending to work, but their eyes were locked on us. For the first time in years, I saw fear in hers. I stood, buttoned my jacket, and looked at the intern. "Enjoy the empire," I said. "What's left of it." Then I walked out. 2 months later, I saw her name in the business section. Former CEO steps down amid financial collapse. The intern was gone. The company was sold for scraps. I didn't celebrate. I didn't need to. Revenge isn't fireworks. It's the silence after the storm, when your enemy finally understands what you've done to them. And in that silence, I built something new, something untouchable. She taught me one thing I'll never forget. Love is blind, but betrayal sharpens your vision.